Hey everybody! Yay! Welcome to the JustTroia Show. And you know who I am. I am JustTroia. I'm so excited. I'm gonna stop messing with my hair at some point. I'm so excited about my guest today, Miss Eleanor Ward with the Bigger Fish to Fry. Listen, y'all think I'm serious about the grief support? Wait till y'all talk to her. She is amazing, 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 amazing. She does what I don't do: TikTok and reels and all this other stuff. But she's a really, I'm just really excited to have her come on. But you know how we do? We have to do our countdown before we start, and then we will be back in a moment. Hey, 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 how's everybody? Can I get some hays and some hellos? And how's everybody doing tonight? I'm so excited about my guest. I'm going to bring her up live and in person. My friend, my girl, Miss Eleanor. Woo! What's going on? Woo!
Lord, I am happy to be on good grief. Oh, yes.
I am excited to have you on. Oh my gosh. I see my folks are in the background. Hey Doug, how you doing back there? Listen, this is to my left or my right. I can't remember. I don't know. Hey Miss Sheila, how are you? Hope all is well. Hope all is going well with you. Listen, you know how we do here at Just Troia. Before we get started, let's say a quick prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for my special guest, Miss Eleanor Ward. And God, as always, we just want to make sure that we remove all of us and that you stand up boldly, that somebody will get something that they need to start their healing journey. God, we thank you, we bless you, and we honor you. All these things we say in your son Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, Pastor Webb, how are you? Hope all is well. Hold on one second. I need to put my producers in because I'm trying to be big time. So hold on. Let me bring my producer in. If I can do this right.
All right. Just want to say thank you. Thank you. Sorry for a bit of delay. We're closing on a home. We have to actually be out of here in just a few weeks. So had all this stuff I had to deal with, but we're ready to go whenever you're ready. And just count us down and you can pull me off.
All righty. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm taking you out. See, it's a whole thing. It's a whole production here. We're working out our kinks. But to God be glory, because listen, I need a favor. Please like and share this video, not just on Facebook. I'm also on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube, and we're trying to grow our YouTube channel. That's my goal this year. I said I had to get one goal, Miss Eleanor, and that was to grow my YouTube channel this year. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna do something, I might as well just because the rest of it is just like, eh. I mean, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, but also I'm so excited. The gentleman you heard just came in, that's our producer, Mr. Doug from BBS Radio, network radio, internet radio, and so I'm excited to be on this program. But most importantly, I am again excited about my guest, Miss Eleanor Ward, a Bigger Fish to Fry. What did we meet a year or so ago?
I think so. It's been about a year, and we've kept in touch. Wow. And holla, I've had you on my little spot. I ain't been time like her yet, y'all. That's gonna be my goal next year. I ain't got producers and stuff. I'm still the one talking about. Hold on, Instagram trying to cut me off. So I ain't there yet, but I'm gonna get there because I'm taking in all these notes right now that she's giving. But yeah, it's been about a year.
Yeah. Oh, please stop. And see, here's the thing, and we're going to give you an opportunity because we want everybody to know who you are. She and I met because we were on another person's program, Risa, and we were both on there, and we just, I listened to her story, and I just sitting, I was just like, wow, she's amazing. I gotta get her on my program. I didn't have my life together then.
You're on mine because I wasn't no better. So I was like, I'm gonna get to her. And when I got to her, I'm gonna tell you that show got so many compliments. A lot of people just really, really loved it.
To God be blessed. And what it was, her story. I mean, and what I try to do is compliment. She compliments. I mean, whenever I'm talking, because I don't know every aspect of grief, and I'm not going to know every aspect of grief. So my hope is that we bring on that the people we bring on the grief. Can you hear me? Because I'm freezing up.
I can hear you. You're freezing though.
Are we there? Am I good?
I can hear you. Well, you're not talking. Are you talking now?
Can you hear me? You see me? You see me now?
You're not moving. You're frozen.
Why am I frozen? Okay. So what I'm gonna do? No, am I still frozen? Am I frozen? Can you hear me?
Well, you're not frozen now.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you. I can hear you. You should be okay. Cool. Yeah, you're normal. You're normal.
See, I'm back in my shed. In the shed is out in my in my backyard. This is my home office, and I'm about to get an extender. But anywho, this is Miss Eleanor Ward. And if it gets too if it does it again, I'm just going to walk in the house. So, but while we're here, Miss Eleanor, can you please tell the folk? Thank you, Miss Sheila. Can you just tell everybody who you are and what makes you so amazing? I mean, I know, but excuse me. Can you tell everybody why you're the most amazing person ever?
Well, thank you, ma'am. And I think you're right up there. We most amazing people together. I am a certified life strategies coach. And I had been in business probably 2 or 3 years and wasn't squat all that happening because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, I guess. And finally, I kind of said, well, Lord, I'm about to shut it down. This ain't making me no money. Don't nobody want no life coaching. And I was seeing all these people who were making $50 million a month. And finally, the message I got from the Lord was, that's because you needed to help people with the grief. And I'm like, what? And I wasn't feeling that message. So I was still bucking and fighting. And then I buckled down and I kind of really didn't do anything for close to 2 years. And I just really started developing a program about managing your grief. And I used what I learned as a life strategies coach. And I said, why can't I make strategies for grief? I'm kind of a smart girl. So I flipped the script and I started making strategies to help you with your grief and how to manage it. And so that's what I do. And then I started, I said, well, I'm going to try to tackle some of these worlds I haven't done. And I started doing reels, a little bit of TikTok, shocked myself. I actually went viral. But my main goal was to just start getting messages about grief. It wasn't even about bringing in money. It really was, let's start getting some messages out here about grief and not the poor, pitiful version that most grief counselors put out here, not the poor, pitiful version you read in these books, because none of that helps people. They usually say just as miserable. So that's what, when I did a flip, I told everybody, you know, hey, I'm going to flip Bigger Fish to Fry. It's a Bigger Fish to Fry coaching. If you guys hang with me, rock with me, I appreciate it. And most of the people stayed, and then I started a small following. And so that's what I do. I'm here to help you understand how to manage your grief, because what I do helps you with other things. Like if you wanted to, you know, handle your grief and understand the things that Troia teaches, my management comes in connection with that. So whatever I'm doing can automatically flow with what someone else is doing. And so that's pretty much what I'm here to do. I consider myself a grief specialist, a grief consultant. I am actually in school to become a licensed counselor. I got a year on the books, and I'm counting down this last year till I get licensed. But grief is still going to be the focus of what I do when I get licensed. So that's what I do, y'all.
And she, like I said, she's amazing. She's out there in Texas. She hails from Texas. So tell everybody what in her name of her company. And if you want to talk to her, if you have any questions, I wish you would have seen.
Yeah.
I just had to correct because I had another letter on that B. And just
now, that's okay. I didn't see it.
I was like, oh, I should put that up there. It was a typo, and I said, God, I thank you for checking. Forgot my typo. But what does that mean? I know what it means, but let everybody else know. What does it mean? Bigger fish to fry.
You know, when everything first happened, everybody wanted me to do everything but grieve. You'll get another husband. You could have another baby, even though my tubes was tied. So people talking outside their neck.
Wait. Did you back up? Did you explain how you? Before we do Bigger Fish to Fry, can we tell them your backstory?
Oh, okay. So if you don't know what my grief story is I lost my husband of 20 years and my 14-year-old son in a car accident. And me and who was 11 at the time, he's 26 now. Me and my 11-year-old son were in the car. We were all together, and we were actually traveling out of state by car because we were going to be moving. Well, and so unfortunately, major car accident happened halfway through the trip, and they were killed. And so once that happened, a whole lot of funny things traveled. So my journey has been over 15 years of getting here now in the last 2 to 3 years. But my journey, I was sued by my in-laws for wrongful death. They did get the bulk of the insurance money. So I'm out here working for the man. I ain't got no insurance money, y'all. And people think I'm rich because my husband was a firefighter. So they assumed I got a pension. What people didn't know was my husband had quit his job about a year before. We had some years before. And because when he came back, they made him start over. He lost his status. And so he got no pension. They made no way of trying to help me at all. So people thought I had just insurance and monies and all this crazy stuff coming in. And I literally came out of that whole situation with about $20,000. If you guys knew the amount of money my husband left me, you'd be sick. But that was about it. $20,000 don't go very far. And so I was in a lawsuit for 5 years with my in-laws because they wanted everything but the blood in my veins. And then I hadn't grieved. I was just getting up every day trying to work. Let me take it back because I want to give grief a little credit. I had my stints. So I go teach a college class. I had 5-hour classes every day. I take my break. I go in the bathroom. 15 minutes. Okay. Now, mind you, I didn't even wear makeup. I splash of water. And I go back in that room and I finish teaching. 5 hours straight is a long time to teach class. But I did that for over a decade. That was my version of grief. My poor kid in school, he was not doing well. And I was so lost in trying to keep him protected, I didn't see he needed his mom. So that's a little bit of my backstory. It's enough to write a book. It gets crazier over the time period, but hopefully that helps everybody understand that I understand grief that gets lost in the sauce.
Yes. And when I heard her story, hey Zakia, how you doing, hon? Listen, when I told her, when I listened to, I tell you, like I said, we were on the podcast together, and when I heard her story, I just acted like this with my mouth wide open. I was like, get it together, Troia, because not only was it that one, I think was on Roku. That show was on Roku channel. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Troia, get your mind together because
I saw your face and I said, oh, this lady don't like me. Oh, this is gonna be a hard show.
No, it wasn't that. It's not that I didn't like her. I was just like, oh my God. I don't know if I mean, my grief was, I was like, mine is so not like yours. It wasn't the loss of a child. It wasn't loss of a husband. And I was like, what am I sitting here talking to? Hey, Elder Woodall. I said, why am I sitting here? This woman got a whole show by herself. I was like,
that's what I loved about your story. It was so relevant because I lost my best friend in the middle of everything that happened. But she was who cares about her? But you lost somebody that was rocking with you in ways that she never did. So I was just like, I was so touched. I'm like, to have a friendship like that. So there's somebody out there that is on that ledge, like, I don't have my friend no more. It really is somebody out there. And it was so funny, within a few weeks, I started meeting people that had lost their best friends. And I was like, oh my God, y'all gonna make me cry. I just did a show. But as far as bigger picture,
right. And that's the thing that we had, right. When you were talking, and I said, we all have something to contribute, right, into this in this world that we're walking, which is why I'm so honored and blessed for this platform. And there's a number that's scrolling down. If you want to call in, we're going to get into some more stuff which she does and all those other things. But I'm so grateful for this platform because I can bring people on like yourself who have gone through stuff that I have not. But I know it's going to resonate with somebody who's listening, right? Yeah. So to say I didn't lose a child, but I did. My baby brother passed away. That resonates with other people. But you said, I mean, you had like you, and it's not only that, you had to actually heal through your own injuries and everything else.
Yeah.
After the car accident.
I'll give a quick tip on the injuries. And we Black. I love it. That's what saved my life. I was a Black girl, y'all. But basically, I went through the windshield. I was pretty much dead. And when they got me to the hospital, they told me what saved my life was my cornrows. My hair was braided in straight back cornrows with additional hair in because I was traveling. And my mother always told me, when you travel by car, you travel, honestly, she told us either travel with rollers or you travel with your hair braided up. So as they were pulling the shards of the glass out of my head, he said, to this day, I've never revealed this before today. I have memory issues because it did get to some of the long-term and short-term memory parts. But he said, if the braids weren't there, it would have pressed into my brain and killed me. And so my braids literally saved my life. And they literally were picking them out of the top of the braids. Now there was blood and little bits of stuff coming up, but he said, it's going to be okay. And all I remember is falling asleep. They got as much out as they could. And then he said, just go somewhere. And my beautician came to my house and she slowly took the remainder out because there was nothing, no tools or anything they could do. And he said a hairdresser would be better to do it. So that's what's typically really honestly saved my life. And so don't sleep on us and our hair, y'all.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here just like, what?
and I want to point this out because I'm gonna take my glasses off. This I'm in a backwards mirror, so I might be on the wrong side of my face, y'all. But you might be able to see. But from here to here, my face was open to the white meat. And I'm gonna tell you what I did. So for those of you that wonder about God being in things, it was the day of the memorial. And I remember I had been walking around, it was brown and pulsating and there was white meat hanging out my face. And I was just like, I remember going to the mirror. This was the night before. And I said, Lord, I'm not vain. I never have been. Because my mother just drilled that into us. And I said, I'm not asking for me. Can you please somehow make me look decent for tomorrow? When I got up, y'all, the next morning, I was itching everywhere. And I was like, I don't want to dig in my face because my white meat was hanging out because we were trying to figure out how we were going to cover it. And I couldn't stop. I said, I don't care. And I just started doing like this in the sink. And then it just stopped, and I opened my eyes. My face was closed, and about 50 pieces of skin were laying in the sink, and that's my face.
Wow.
And there are people that saw my face like that open, so I'm not telling a lie. So I was just like, thank you, Jesus. that woke me up.
I'm sitting here like this. I'm just like,
yeah.
I told you, listen, this one's a beast. Pastor Webb said yes. She needed this. She lost 2 brothers and a mother-in-law within 3 months while she was going through cancer.
Oh wow,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy. So with that intro, I mean, we were talking about somebody said nothing but the blood. Yes, because it was. I mean, because I'm just seeing like. And again, she not. We know, like I said, we met on. We know
the story, but still,
Right, but I'm just like
real quickly about where that comes from.
Right. So that's it. Yeah, she is a walking miracle, literally.
Yeah.
So how did this whole concept of bigger fish to fry? Because clearly you had bigger fish to fry.
I really did. And the biggest fish that I had to fry was my kid. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a single mother. And boy, I learned some humility, humility. I'm making a word. Whatever you want to add to humble, because I just thought I knew everything being a married woman, and you get in your own messes if you have a kid, without a maid. And the Lord don't play with you. So he became the biggest fish I had to fry. And I remember people were telling me everything. Like I said, you're going to get married again. You'll have another kid. Just get with a guy with some more kids and be a stepmom. The ridiculous levels of advice that I got, they were absolutely awful. And it happened one night at work. A lady came up to me and she said, I don't like the way you move. And I said, well, I don't like the way you don't do anything. And we had a guy that fell out at work. And this is when I was working at drug treatment. And so I go out and do CPR the whole night. I'm not a nurse, I'm a medical assistant. And so, she felt like I had overstepped my boundaries. I said, I don't care what I did. He's alive. He headed out to the hospital. She walks up to me in a thick African accent. So please don't nobody take offense. She's like, I don't like you. I have bigger fish to fry than you. I can't report you because of what you did. I said, but I can report you because of what you didn't do. And so my girlfriend called me that morning because I used to work overnights. She said, girl, you better use that. That is so you. And I said, what? And at first I wasn't doing it. And if I said, you know what? It just came to me. I said, you're right. I got bigger fish to fry. And so after that, it became bigger fish to fry coaching. And I let everybody know, remember, and people that know my slogan know it, you got bigger fish to fry, baby. You do. You got so many other things to do in life besides be depressed, be down, and not be able to handle your grief.
Right. And when that always talking about, I said, okay. And then y'all, she does, because somebody told me that, I think I told you, somebody said, Troy, you so silly, naturally, organically, you need to do TikTok. I said, I don't got time for that. I don't. I really don't.
Now I'm good on Instagram, but I do awful on TikTok. I don't know what it is.
But this one right here, some of her reels, I just fall out. Because I think you did do one, and I said, now I may do one to that one. It said, I'm going to drink my water and mind my business. Is that one yours? I'm drinking my water. And I was like,
I did that one a while back.
Because I was like, and she did, and again, when you think about, because I know people, and the one thing I think that why you and I click. Oh, if you have any questions you want to ask of her, 888-627-6008 or 323-744-7831. You can call and they'll get you, and we'll get you on, so you can ask her a question, make a comment, whatever you want to do. Feel free to do so. And I think that's what made me like say, okay, she's my kind of people, because we laughed. I didn't know, we didn't know each other from Adam, but it was funny. It was, and so people expect us that are grieving that's where we should stay. And that's not it, right? So, because how did you go from mourning to laughing and because I'm telling you, if you watch, she follow her, she's bigger fish to fry on Instagram. follow her and look at some of her reels. They're hilarious to me. And I'm like, and maybe because I know you, because I'm like, she is just silly. But
I get that. I screamed the other day. I just screamed. I was like, "That's my grief for the day." What took me out of that, girl? I was gaining weight rapidly. Like I could just turn around and 5 pounds was like on my back. Somebody, what's up? And it was just, and to this day, now I am the biggest I've ever been. And when the diabetes diagnosis came in and the high blood pressure, and I became a cliche, and I was just like, oh, this is not working. And the bed was my friend. I was like, girl, I'm gonna see you in a little bit. And we gonna lay down. We gonna watch Netflix and chill. And that's all I want to do. And I could not get out of bed. We're talking over a decade. So I said, I had went to counseling, so everybody can understand. I wasn't out here just wilding out, grief wilding out. I had went to counseling. I went to multiple counselors. I had sent my son to every counselor in the sun. I had sent him to grief camps like I was some psycho. I was griefing, and none of it working because none of it was true to what grief is. And I just finally got up and I said, if you don't move, you're going to die. And I'm not kidding when I say that. And I said, even now I'm slowly working to get off of all the meds. I'm slowly working to get everything out of my body, get the weight off. But it's been a couple of years, and I just said, I don't want to die like this. I just didn't. And so I got up and I said, I deserve joy. I deserve to smile. And my kid deserves to see his mom happy. And when I changed the trajectory of my own thoughts, I changed the narrative. It changed me and my son's whole relationship. We were fighting and going at it, and then all of a sudden everything started changing. We can now talk about his dad. We can now talk about his brother. He seemed more open to things. His anger was dissipating, and it was like two new people. And so you got to realize, in your grief, we don't share our grief, and so that's what me and my son weren't doing. We weren't sharing our grief. And once we started doing that, we both started healing. So for y'all out there trying to be strong and trying to hold on, let's go on and share it. Talk to somebody. And counselors are not always it. I had went to grief groups too, and all I was doing was going home, carrying somebody's, other car accident, somebody stabbing, somebody's boyfriend killing. I was like, oh no, that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna tell you now, be careful. I'm not saying group don't work, but be careful with it.
Or be careful of the facilitator, right? Because the facilitator and because the facilitator needs to be able to that's going.
Yeah, and that's what my facilitator was very much I'm gonna pass the Dutchie on the left hand side of tissues, because she wanted you crying and she wanted you to here you go. She wanted you to feel all that, and so then the whole room be crying, and prayer doesn't cover foolishness. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. And so you go home and you are so deep in, honestly, other people's grief that you think it's yours, and you right back where you started.
Right. And you have to be, but did you say pass the Dutchie on the left hand side?
That's right.
Did you really just say? I used to love that song. Pass the Dutchie on the left hand side. Listen, I'm an 80s baby. I didn't miss it. I said she slid that right in there. She ain't gonna go past that. You are so very welcome. You are so very welcome. Listen, I believe that we have to be in this space, and yes, ma'am, you deserve love, happiness, and joy. God does not desire, if I take it from a spiritual perspective, He does not desire for us to be sad all the time. Yes, we have to go through some things in life to make us to push us to where we're supposed to be. But I don't believe that. I just tell people all the time, if I have to be a stuffy Christian, there's no sense in me being one, because I'm silly by nature. And if we're and He wants us to live an authentic life, and whatever that looks like for you. And the thing is about grief. As since I'm in school now for thanatology, the study of death, dying, and grief. And yeah, honey, Yeah, and my
Get you
my
on
class
our way,
started being
y'all.
on.
I guess I'm a little lazy with mine. No, I'm just kidding.
but again, like you, if I'm going to be in it, I'm going to be in it. I don't want to half step. I want to make sure that if somebody has a question, I'm able to answer the question, and not what I think, but what I've learned and what the theories are. Because so often, and I see it, and we see it on social media. So many with COVID. I mean, it's pushed people to start talking about grief more, but they stop just about posting about it and not offering solutions or resolutions or practical tools that people can begin to use. It's something as simple as Eleanor was saying. I went to a therapist. It's okay, and we need, and I think we're getting better. It's not such a taboo in our community anymore. But listen, I was July of no, it was July, August of 2019. I was a wreck. I was mad. I was angry. I was like, God, I'm done with you. You play too much. There's nothing I need to have a conversation with you about. But to your point, I went straight to a therapist, lovely lady, and she helped me to first sit up in bed because I wasn't trying to get out the bed. I had to sit up and say, okay, what we gonna do today? What we gonna do different? Then put my foot on the floor, like, okay, am I getting out the bed today? And it's a process, and understand that it is a process. And like you, I don't put. Well, I've never been a svelte lady. I've always been thick. So, you know, but even in that, you know,
Oh, I used to be so skinny, they called me olive oil. So when I got big, I was like, hello? Is somebody gonna answer the phone? I don't know what to do. But
girl, no. When I was in the military said, you too curvy. You too
what you doing,
curvy.
girl?
I was like, well, I am what I am. I said, well, now my body mass, my BMI was like low. They're like, that just makes sense. I said, it does, because I'm a thick girl.
Yeah.
I'm black.
And now
I'm a black woman.
Pretending thick and we just fat. There's difference. So hate to hurt somebody's feelings. But some folks
I was like,
let's just take it off.
When I got that, look, and I'm going off way off because I was in Fort Hood, Texas. When I was over in Saudi Arabia, and I'm way off. I'm ready to go back. They said I was overweight. And then when I got down to the weight that I was supposed to be, well, I was overweight, but not by BMI. So I was able to always do my tape test. But when I was over in the first Persian Gulf War, I got down to my weight that I was supposed to be in the military. And my sergeant said, you need to eat. I was like, wait a minute now. Because I looked like I looked like I was a bobblehead. It was the weirdest looking thing. I had this whole big head on this little bitty body. I was like, this is not going to work for me. So after that, they left me alone. As long as I passed my tape test, I was good to go. But yes, back to that. Because I think when we're and again, if you have any questions, there's only a 55-minute long show. But if you have any questions, you see the phone number. But someone just put in here, they can you speak to that? I deserve love. I deserve, after all of the losses and the trauma that we go through, how can we begin to then say, you know what, I'm deserving of not hurting anymore, and when is it okay to stop punishing yourself and saying I have to wear the black cloak of grief all the time, even if it's a figurative one?
First of all, and I'm saying this with all the love in my heart, because this chick is my hero. I don't care that she's white. I think she's banging. Scarlett O'Hara. It ain't 1852. Take off that ugly black dress and put on the red bloom and start to dance. The person you have to love first is you. And you can want love and to make up for all the loss in the world, but until you love you, you're not going to attract anything but more losses. It may not be death, but it's definitely going to be a fool. It's definitely going to be an idiot. You're not going to attract the right love that you're seeking. And honestly, at this point, I don't know that you're seeking love from someone else. You're seeking love and affection from yourself. And when I learned to give that to myself, a whole lot of stuff started changing. I lost friends. I don't even have church no more. They hate me. I'm like, ah. But when I did not allow them to run over my face, and the reason they could do that was because my grief was present all the time. Even if they didn't know it, it was present on me. I was in that ugly black dress from 1852. But I put on my red bloomers and I started dancing. I really did. Put on your red bloomers, baby girl. Start dancing and love your life. Because once you start loving your life, you're not going to allow anything to keep you from enjoying it. You don't have to wait to travel with somebody. There are travel groups. Go in singles travel group, not because you're single, but because, of course, you want to be safe. There are tons of ways out here to go ahead and enjoy the life that you want. And I'm going to tell you, when people start seeing that, the right people, they get infected and they're like, I want to know this person. I want to holler at this person. And then you start connecting, just like me and Troia have connected. And I know it's a connection that'll keep going. And we don't need hour shows because we don't have enough sense to stay in the hour. We're going to struggle through this hour because we struggle through my show. But it's okay. We'll do another show at another time. But I truly want you to put on, I know you think it sounds silly. They're not literal, but put on the red bloomers under that black dress and dance your behind off. And enjoy your life. You got it right.
Exactly.
You gotta enjoy you first. Because until you come to enjoy you and love you, it's not going to matter. It's really not. You're going to feel all the guilt in the world. There's no guilt. I get you have survivor's remorse. That is really real. But why? You didn't do anything wrong. Live your life. Because it's
right
before you know it.
Exactly. Because our time is done. Yeah, we're not guaranteed. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed. Listen, I can walk and don't have no, I'm not, because I'm here, because I got to be here. I said, Jesus, at least another 20 years. Yeah. My youngest grandchild, the one I'm raising he's only 4. So he got to go to college and I got to make sure everybody, I said, Lord, so I got to be here for a little while longer.
That's what I said. I was like, I got to get the grandbaby. That means I got to get the right girlfriend. Get the other girlfriend of my son. So I feel you, but once you accept it's not, I carry guilt for a lot of years because I'm gonna tell you why, and this is the first because I don't tell this part of the story because it's not the prettiest part of the story. My husband and I were driving to Las Vegas because I had got a job at the community college there because I was leaving his behind after 20 years and he was cheating like a beaten. Okay. And he refused to let me just leave. I'm like, Negro, please let me go. If he had just let me go like I wanted, I was going to go to Vegas by myself, get my little house by myself, let my kids finish out their school year, let him think about what he had did, which was put his pickle all over town in other people's jars, and let me have some time. I think my husband knew how serious I was when I found out he was pickle jarring all over the place. And he just couldn't fathom. You ever meet somebody that just won't let you have that time because they feel like they stay in your face, you're gonna be with them. And so that's really what it was. I was leaving. I was in the process of I won't say leaving. I was separating from my husband. And see, I'm the type of person, I'm separated long and hard. So I wanted to leave him all the way in Missouri and go back to Las Vegas because we used to visit there a lot. So we had come to really like it. And my husband changed the trajectory of everything. So he changed our lives. He wanted to drive out there with me. He wanted the kids to be with me. But when I look back, I realized he was trying to force me into this family setting that I needed to be away from for a minute. But what it came down to was this. The guilt I carried was, and his mother said it to me because my mother-in-law is she's so amazing. No, she's not, y'all. And my mother-in-law's words, and Troia has heard some of my mother-in-law's words. This is one of her famous quotes, and she says, well, I dealt with it. If you hadn't been leaving, they wouldn't be dead. So that guilt just crawled into my head and stayed there because I felt like, who was I to leave? I should have stayed and dealt with the drama and the women and she stayed. And I also remember my husband telling me she cried every night at the dinner table. Who wants that? But long story short, let me get back on track. That was the guilt I carried, that if I had not decided to separate from my husband, get a job all the way across the country, that him and my son would still be alive. And so you can't carry that guilt. It took me a long time to let go of that guilt. But he shouldn't have been putting his pickles in jars. That's all I can say. Because I can't carry it no more. My baby had nothing to do with it. So I feel like he was a casualty of the war. But, you know, my oven was closed up. So what was you doing? So at the end of the day, you gotta let it go. And I want you to let the guilt go. I want you to breathe. I do breath work and stuff like that. I really want you to breathe and let that guilt start to leave. It's helpful. It took me a minute because I carried that for a long time. I'm like, I'm the reason they're dead. And my mother-in-law let me know every 5 minutes that, you know, you are the reason they're dead. She's just stellar. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Girl, I was trying not to spit this water. I had this water in my mouth. So I was like, she did not just say that. I said, yes, she did, because she's my friend. And she would, and
that's right.
Listen, we're grown. And after you get it, I told somebody, this girl, I saw, and we are getting ready to shut down. So if y'all have any questions, put them in the chat. And then Eleanor is going to tell you how you can get in touch with her. But I was in this in the store the other day, the Turkey Hills. It's like a Quick Trip, if you know what Quick Trip is. And they and she was talking about, I'm getting ready to turn 40. I'm upset about that. I was like, why? I said, child, wait till you get 50. You can say whatever you want to say. I said, look, the older I get, the more freer. Never had to feel. I said, but never freer. And so I said, you are so funny, but you are real. Keep telling your story, laughter, and that's true. And again, I mean, we're. And I asked, well, what's the other side? And I say this all the time. What's the other side of grief look like this? That you can, yes, do we have our days that it just hits you in your throat and you just like, you can't take it? But then you have to remember, you drag yourself out of it, right? You keep on moving, like, but there's bigger fry. There's the things like my bigger fish are my grandchildren. I raise my grandchildren. My bigger fish is putting people on my platform that can come and because somebody needed to laugh today. And when she and I talk, we talk and we're laughing, we're silly. And again, it's crazy. When I first met her, and I was like, this lady's crazy. She is crazy as I am.
I'm telling yourself, I was trying to keep from laughing. I was like, let me stay focused and made up. Because I be trying to be so prim and proper, and it don't even work no more.
And it don't. And there's a time and a place for all of that. And we have different people come in saying different things. So again, this is different people showing their different aspects of grieving and grief and loss. But listen, as we get ready to shut this down, close it down for another Wednesday night, Miss Eleanor, can you tell everybody how they can reach you?
Oh goodness, I am literally across the board, bigger fish to fry, or I might say bigger fish to fry coaching. But if you pop that in, every now and then a white man pops up, but he ain't me. So you'll definitely, I am a beautiful cartoon character, which I know you're not saying to use cartoon logos, but she's rocking and her boobs look like my boobs did back in the day. She's got her fish and she's frying and she's handling the grief. And the reason I want y'all to laugh is because if you don't laugh, you will die. I need y'all to let go of all of this stuff because grief will make you so sick. If you listen to when me and Troia talk, you can definitely hear the seriousness of the things that we discuss. They're there, okay? But we also we're trying to give you a flip spin of saying there can be laughter, there can be joy. Yes, it's hard to think about finding out that my husband had been cheating on me for some years as to why I decided to leave. And it's hard to think about the connection of losing a child because he didn't want to just let me have that time. But there's somebody out here who's either going to watch this now or watch this later who's doing the same thing. So I want you to stand your ground. Don't let the man flip your plan to step away, whatever that may be. And it may not be cheating. You could have had an amazing marriage because in all reality, we had a banging marriage. You know, there are days I wake up and I'm mad because I'm like, you haven't been putting your pickle in stuff. Wait, they go. You know, because we were amazing partners. We really did have a lot of amazing things. So I want you to start to flip a lot of the negatives that may be connected to your grief and start thinking about the positives. And if people don't appreciate that, so what? Somebody said you should talk more about the cheating. How much can I talk about the cheating? He cheated a lot. Okay. But my point is, we're talking about the grief connected to him not being here, the grief of him not being here as the breadwinner, because Eleanor wasn't really made to work like this. Woo-hoo. So
that I can't with you,
girl.
Listen,
I was not.
If we ain't careful, we're gonna be here all night talking.
So what we got? But I'm Bigger Fish to Fry coaching across the board. The only thing that isn't, I think, is no, everything's Bigger Fish to Fry coaching. It's TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find me there, and I'm usually talking about all things grief related. And hopefully they make you laugh, make you think. And of course, I also offer programs and things like that through my website, which is, of course, biggerfishtofrycoaching.com. You can catch me there. I have a blog on my website where I do talk about different things. And so check it out. Check it out. And download some of that free stuff that I made and spent the money on. Download it. Use it.
Right. Because my strategy, my business strategist told me, Troy, you need to do this, and that. So that's a whole nother conversation. But listen,
that's a whole other deal. We have to have that one.
So look, she is coming back to my show just because I told y'all she's amazing, and I'm so excited to know her and meet her. Next week, in 2 weeks, I have some amazing people coming on talking military, because everybody knows I'm former military, but there's a lot of programs out there that I didn't know that the military, and yes, JustTroia, my platform is I want to make sure we're bringing all types of information, and this is one I think that's close and near and dear to me, because I'm a veteran, right? So there's a lot of stuff if you're a veteran that you didn't know you had access to. Listen, in 2 weeks, I'm going to
come back and listen, because I'm a former military wife, so it might be some stuff I can still get. I'm just kidding, y'all, but you never know. I can still use it. I ain't used it yet, y'all.
You see, and then right after the following week, we have some amazing gentlemen from that I know from Georgia. I'm on the wrong name. And then in June, how she does what she does, I have no idea. She's a chaplain in hospice, but she has these 2 kids. She works out daily. It's like, she makes me tired. She's the epitome of Proverbs, the Proverbs 31 woman that makes you tired. I said, she makes me tired. But if you all can, I need you to do me a favor. Again, my goal this year is by the end of the year is to have 10,000 YouTube subscribers. So if you can, go to my YouTube. I'm JustTroia everywhere. You can email me, hello@justtroia.com. So we're real excited about some things, and we'll talk about what's going on in my world soon. I have some really exciting stuff to share in the next couple of weeks. But again, thank you for listening. You can share the live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and of course BBS Radio. Go out and like and share them. They have a lot. We have a lot of great programming on our network. So with that said, again, this is JustTroia. I'm signing off. Don't let your heart hold on to anything that your head has let go, and don't let your head hold on to anything that your heart doesn't want. So with that said, I love you, and we got to do the outro, and then that'll be it, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
That would be a negative, Zakia. You got to wait for everybody else. Good night.